So, in a recent debate I had with atheist Randolph Richardson, one of the nicest people ever, actually, he asked me the question of if God is all powerful or otherwise omnipotent, can he defy the laws of logic? So, I want to get into this question, but just to be clear here, I want to give you the definition of omnipotent. That means specifically of a deity having unlimited power, able to do anything. This is known as the omnipotence paradox. This is commonly put into the question of, can God create a rock so heavy that he cannot lift it? We will answer that question in another video because I want to focus more on the question that Randolph asked me today. So the answer to this question is the idea that God is not simply just logical, but at his core, God is logic. We often say, at least me as Christians, I'm sure other Christians do, that God is love or that God is all good, etc., etc. And in the same way, we can also say that God is logic. So God at his core could not break the laws of logic because God is logic. He did not create logic in the same way that humans have been created, as logic is part of the very nature of God. So could God violate the laws of logic? Well, logic goes together with rationality. If something is logical, it's rational. And God is, quote, limited to being rational. But this really isn't a limit as we would think of the word. I mean this in the same way that God is, quote, limited to his goodness or his beauty or his holiness. This follows because we cannot say that God is evil or ugly or unholy. It's against his nature. So just as God is rational or logical, he cannot be irrational or illogical. It goes against his nature. Us humans could never know anything about God without the laws of logic. Without the laws of logic, God could exist and not exist at the same time. God could be both evil and good, etc., etc. We can go on and on with certain scenarios like this. We need logic to understand God and our universe. So, quick summary here. Logic is part of God's nature. So God is not subject to the laws of logic in the way that logic is an outside force, because it's not. So God will always be logical because he cannot deny himself. Thanks for listening, guys. I'm Zach Seckler. This is Adherent Apologetics, and I just want to let you guys know, big questions need good answers.